What's up, nerds? Back with another Zümboxing video. So the last time I just did kind of a time lapse because I was kind of curious what it would look like to do a Zümboxing like that. And so now we're going to get a little bit of a voiceover. And so this Zümboxing session, there were two main goals for this one. It was a big time technique session, and this was a big movement session. And so the technique we're practicing is really trying to get our core activated and trying to whip our core and utilize that strength and keep that going throughout the whole punch. And the goal is to not punch into and push the bag. The goal was to make connection with the bag at the very end, and then we are moving our bodies and keeping our feet move so that we are making full extension all the way. And when not doing that, like in this section right now, you can see I'm not fully extending, but I am moving my feet, moving my core, getting nice rotation on, and really getting that nice connection with the bag, nice full flush connection, getting my whole hand connected with the bag because I'm not using boxing gloves, as you can tell. And because I'm not using boxing gloves, it is easier to rip the head, rip the skin off of my knuckles. And despite having, pretty deep calluses built up, I rip the calluses off in their entirety, and then I can't box for 2-3 weeks. Well, that's a lie. I usually don't wait that long. I usually wait a week, and then I just box with big gloves on so that I can still box without ripping those. But I actually need to get new gloves because I have beaten down my current gloves to the point that it's just as bad if I was wearing no gloves. But I digress. The point of this is really focusing on the footwork. You can see I'm walking in and out. You can see my hips are rotating and the bag, even though the bag is moving, I'm just connecting with the bag. I'm not pushing the bag. I'm not connecting and pushing. I'm getting a nice and it's funny, in this section, I was doing the little jabs, and that was just, again, because I boxed for around 18 minutes in this. I ended up speeding up the footage, obviously, because, I'm not going to talk and, BS around the same thing, because, there's only so much you can talk about. But here you can see a big time walking around, a big time movement, and now, so in the beginning, I was not fully connecting as much, and now you can see that I have started to move around to the point where I'm getting the full whip connection. And after that section, now taking my little break, boom, take a little 30-second break, and then we are going to start really getting full extension with the bag, fully getting, keeping that full flush connection and really trying to get the whole arm connected. But it's, again, the big goal, and you'll see really, I'll emphasize it in a second, is to bring the arm and the hand back after the punch. It's a whip. You're not pushing, you're not hitting and pushing out, you're whipping the bag and then bringing it back. Something that you can use to trigger an idea in your head is that you are going out and you're grabbing the leaf and then you're bringing it back in. So that you obviously don't have an open hand for that, but you are going out, whipping the bag and coming back in. And you can see now, trying to keep my movement, trying to keep my legs up, trying to keep those feet going, and I'm just going out and touching the bag, letting it move out, and then coming, hitting it, boom, and then when it comes back in, maybe giving a punch or two to help keep the swing, but then boom, letting it, when it gets back out, you can see getting those full jabs all the way back out, hitting the top of the bag. And so, yes, some people look at this and they say, oh, you're not actually like punching the bag hard. You are just, using the momentum of the bag and punching it down. It's like, yes, obviously, yes, I am. I'm not going to lie, but the goal is I'm not trying to get the bag to swing. That is a product of the technique, or that's a result of the technique. And again, it's the thing that you should be thinking about, and the goal of the technique session is to punch through the bag. You are getting you're transferring your energy through the bag. You're not pushing the bag with your arm. You're not storing that energy in your arm. You are extending all the way out and punching through the bag. And so that's what you can see. Boom, moving, keeping my body out. I'm listening to some EDM, as you could tell, or as is tradition in this, in the Zümboxing. Because for me, the EDM helps me get into a groove where I'm able to continue the movement, to continue the energy, to keep the energy levels high, and not doing as many punchings. You can see now, getting back into punching, you can see, boom, I'm getting a full extension. My arm is going all the way out, and towards the end, when I'm standing a little bit further back and not moving as much, you can see that I am really focusing on, well, you can't see my legs, but it's boom. You can see I am punching all the way out. I'm rotating, getting the punch, doing a little bit of kicks, but the kicks are really just to get the distance, because when you are, at least for me, I think that the best kicks thrown ends you up in a distance where you are set up to follow up with a punch. You get a nice little low leg kick, and then you can follow up with an overhand, ideally knockout punch, because again, I don't want to get into fights. I'm a big time believer in martial arts are for defense. However, if I do get into a fight, I want it to end as quickly as possible. So my kicks, if I'm close enough to kick, it ends up with me being close enough to the bag, close enough to my opponent, where I can just follow up quickly, follow up with a strong, precision punch, precision strike, which maximizes damage, maximizes the ability to, end the fight, and then go back, finish it out with, again, I'm just really focusing on leg movement, focusing on pushing with the legs, focusing on twisting my core, getting that transfer of strength, getting that energy, transferring it. And it's kind of funny. I am got the UFC fights happening tonight, and Jiri Prochka, I can't pronounce his last name, but he is coming up, and he is a unique fighter, to say the least, and he is definitely a big-time believer in similar martial arts that I am. Obviously, he fights for a living, so he doesn't believe in like the defensive part. But that's kind of the technique session. And so getting towards the end of the fight, and you can see really focusing again on the whipping of the arm. And focusing on, I get the bag moving a little bit, make some nice little connections just to get the bag a little bit moving. And then once I get the bag moving, move a little bit back and really focus on getting that extension, but also bringing the arm back. Go out, get the punch, bag, good transfer energy. The bag's moving, right? But that energy movement and that bag movement is just so I can get to the point where you see my arms fully extended all the way out. Got to bring them back. But that's kind of, I like to end the session with things like this because it lets me really get a good mind muscle connection, focus on those ending strikes, and also helps working on speed. But that's it. Nice little Zümboxing session, a little technique session, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Subscribe if you had some fun. We drop